Gervonta Davis is probably the most disrespected fighter in boxing. And in this video, we're going to talk about a situation where one of his greatest accomplishments in the lead-in to it was framed as one of his greatest failures. Gervonta Davis, according to the usual group of people that speak down on him on a regular basis, was on his way to jail again, when in fact, he was on his way somewhere else completely. As Michael Benson has now let out that Gervonta Davis is going to the Olympics and not jail. Let's talk about that development in this video.
Baltimore boxer Gervonta "Tank" Davis is heading to the Paris Olympic Games. A judge granted his request to travel to France. Davis is currently on probation for a 2020 hit-and-run crash that left a pregnant woman hurt. Tank will serve as an advisor to Team USA Boxing during his time abroad. A total of 8 boxers have qualified for the Games. All of them are competing in their first Olympic Games.
Yesterday, Michael Benson let out a tweet that reads as follows. Gervonta Davis has been granted permission to travel to Paris while on probation after being invited by Team USA to support and advise their boxers at the Olympics. Tank will be in France from July 19th to August 12th from the Baltimore Banner. Sounds like good news, right? It wasn't good news a week ago when the usual crew of people that are often looking for reasons to drag Gervonta Davis's name through the mud for no good reason other than spite and vindictiveness decided to take news about Gervonta Davis' request to go to the Olympics as a signal that he was on his way to jail. Looking at the article that came out from that Michael Benson is referring to, it states, Gervonta "Tank" Davis will be allowed to go to the 2024 Paris Olympic Games after all. Baltimore Circuit Judge Althea M. Handy on Tuesday granted a request from the World Boxing Association lightweight champion to travel from July 19th to August 12th to support and advise Team USA Boxing. Davis, 29, now of Parkland, Florida, sought permission because he's on probation for a hit and run that happened in Baltimore in 2020. The ruling came less than a week after the judge called his attorney arrogant and accused him of trying to intimidate her. Hunter Pruitt, Davis's attorney, argued that his client had been compliant on probation and called the opportunity to support the team a huge honor. Pruitt provided a letter from USA Boxing in support of the request. Given his status among the world's best boxers, Mr. Davis would be a key asset in motivating and supporting our team to achieve Olympic greatness and become the #1 nation in the world at this year's Olympic Games. Matt Johnson, high performance director for USA Boxing, wrote in a June 26th letter to Handy. Handy has repeatedly pressed Pruitt for more specific information. She later ended the June 10th hearing without ruling on the request and walked off the bench. Following the hearing, Pruitt filed court documents containing more detailed information about the itinerary. Davis grew up in Baltimore, West Baltimore, and has a 30-0 record with 28 knockouts. Now, as you see, that did not result in him going to jail. But how was the information originally taken? I did a video where I had responded when this originally came out. People believed and took this reading to mean that because the judge believed or had accused, Judge Althea M. Handy had accused Gervonta Davis's attorney, Mr. Pruitt, of being arrogant in trying to intimidate her. Somehow that meant that Gervonta Davis's probation was at risk, even though there's nothing to support that in any of the actual documentation or the actual news articles that came out. Now, why would people want to do that? Because it's a lot more interesting to sell the idea of Gervonta Davis failing than it is to sell the idea of Gervonta Davis succeeding and overcoming obstacles and making his life something better. This is a tremendous, tremendous honor that Gervonta Davis has been bestowed on Gervonta. And it is something that is very valuable for the young professional boxers, the wannabe professional boxers that are at the Amateur Olympics. To see somebody of his status next to you, visiting you, hanging out with you, encouraging you to do better and to, achieve great things can add tremendous value to a lot of the young amateur fighters that are in the Olympics that may never wind up having the professional accolades that Gervonta Davis had. Now, Gervonta did not go to the Olympics. He turned professional instead of going to the Olympics, even though he was a standout amateur. But these type of things need to be celebrated and not be looked at in a fashion where the first thing we're going to do is interpret it as if it is something bad for Gervonta Davis. So I'm happy that Gervonta Davis has this situation unfolding in a positive way for him. I'm certainly looking forward to the Olympics because not only will Gervonta Davis's presence at the Olympics help the actual athletes that are performing, if Gervonta Davis gets involved with marketing the Olympics and being at the Olympics with kids, doing videos with kids, putting tweets out with the U.S. Olympians, doing all of that type of stuff, it can bring more attention to their fights in the Olympics and really help push Olympic boxing forward. My salute to Althea M. Handy for allowing Gervonta Davis to do it. It seems like her issue, per the article, was around notifying them of the itinerary, when he was leaving, where he was going, where he's going, where he's expected to be, what events he's going to go to, all of the above, so she can account for their time, the time that Gervonta Davis has spent there, can know exactly when he's leaving, know exactly when he's coming back, and the court can do their duty, which is supervising his probation. But anyway, very positive thing in Gervonta Davis's life, presented in a very negative light on YouTube. Surprise, surprise. What else do you expect? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.